My thriller mainly conforms to the ideas of the thriller genre. I chose to do my project in this way as conforming to the ideas of thriller would ensure that it would appeal to as wide an audience as possible. I felt that my thriller appealing to as many people as possible was key, as this would attract the most views and in the long run give me better feedback. One way my thriller conforms to the conventions is by including the idea of mystery. One of the ways that I did this was by shooting all the shots of the killer from mostly the neck down, and in any case where the head is visible, the face has not been included as they were shot from behind or to the side to avoid the viewers seeing the killer's face. The reason for doing this was to add an element of mystery to the thriller, as you cannot see the killer's face. You know the killer is there and what they have done, but you cannot identify them in terms of actually seeing who it is. Another way that my thriller conforms to the conventions is with using title overlays during the film. The way that I did this was by including a title at the very beginning of the film with its name. I did this to introduce the name of the thriller. The name of my thriller also links with some parts throughout my film. A few examples of these are the name of the film, 8:45, appears firstly in the section where the killer is writing the note which he later plants on the victim's house, where they find it and causes great distress and anxiety to them. The title of the film then again appears at the end of the thriller extract, where the killer conceals the corpse in a wooded area and adds the note saying 8:45 onto the dead corpse. This adds a further mysterious effect to the thriller, as it leaves the viewer with unanswered questions such as, why is it this particular time, what has the person done to be killed, and are there going to be any more victims? A further way my thriller conforms to the conventions is by using flashbacks. I chose to use flashbacks in my thriller to illustrate that something had happened in the past. I used flashbacks in such a way that they would tell a story of how the killer had plotted the death of his victim. I needed this as I had put my thriller together to some extent in a backwards fashion, as the body of the victim was found first and you later find out what happens and the events behind it. I chose to do my flashback in a different effect to the rest of the thriller so that you could easily tell that it was a flashback in comparison to the rest of it. The way that I did this was by firstly shooting a time lapse of a clock. I then overlaid this with various snippets of clips from the extract and added some music with a high tempo to build suspense. After this, I then added a black and white effect to the flashback scenes and increased the contrast so that they were shadowy and looked menacing. Finally, I added the sound of a heartbeat to the duration of the flashback, as I felt this worked well and also helped build further suspense.